Happy Hump Day, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here. The last day of April 2014. Please, springtime, please, where are you? Where are you, springtime? Please show up. If it's below 50 degrees in Chicago tomorrow, it will be the coldest May 1st in over 70 years. What's going on with the weather? If you're listening in the Florida area, the Louisiana area, hope that you're okay. You guys are getting deluged down there with a double whammy, tornadoes and torrential rainfall. Hope that everything is A-OK. Medscape multi-specialty report, high-dose antidepressants in youth may up the risk for self-harm, a.k.a. the suicide. This written by Pam Harrison, April 28, 2014. That's pretty recent. Article goes on to say that children and young adults who are started on higher doses of antidepressants than are typically prescribed are at least twice as likely to engage in acts of deliberate self-harm, DSH. That's fancy schmancy, a psychobabble for suicide. Matthew Miller, MD, and colleagues from the Harvard School of Public Health in Boston and from the University of North Kakalaki in Chapel Hill found that the rate of deliberate self-harm among children and adults 24 or younger who were prescribed high-dose antidepressant therapy was approximately twice as high as that seen among matched control individuals who were prescribed normal dose therapy. Now, this corresponds to approximately one additional suicidal event for every 150 patients treated with high dose rather than normal dose therapy. Now, the risk for normal dose therapy, are you ready for this? The risk for normal dose antidepressant therapy is 1 in 1,000. This published in PubMed in the American Journal of Psychiatry, 2006, January, suicide risk during antidepressant treatment. The conclusions, the risk of suicide during acute phase antidepressant treatment is approximately 1 in 3,000 treatment episodes, and the risk of serious suicide attempt is approximately 1 in 1,000, 1 in 1,000, and it does not matter what age you are. You know what this means? You know how many people took antidepressants in the United States last year? 270 million. 270 million people were prescribed antidepressants last year. Now, if the 1 in 1,000 data is correct, as reported in the American Journal of Psychiatry, that translates to 270,000 people who attempted to take their own life because of a side effect of a prescription medication, and not one MD, not one psychiatrist, not one pharmaceutical rep, not one pharmaceutical scientist, not one pharmaceutical company CEO went to jail. 270,000. I'm estimating this number. I can do math. Remember math? Did they teach you math in school? Taught me math in school. 1 out of 1,000. Well, 270 million. Let me take down the zeros and carry the 1. That's 270,000 people a year attempting suicide. It's probably more, quite frankly. By the way, the drug companies predict that by 2020, antidepressant sales will be the top-selling drug in the world. It will outreach heart disease. Depression will be the biggest medical problem in the world by 2020. Depression. You got to be kidding me. This, while we've let the MDs drive the bus, this while we've given our bodies, minds, hearts, and souls and pocketbooks over to allopathic reductionism. This is not acceptable. But you know, in the land of the blind, well, this is how it goes, and this is what it is. We rattle our chains to celebrate our freedom. We rattle our prescription medications to celebrate our health. It's It is an unbelievably ridiculous statistic. And I can understand it when it happens to you. Because, generally speaking, people, human beings are selfless. They're selfless and they're trusting. And, they're going to give the MD a break. They're going to give the MD a break when it comes to their health. And, that we really shouldn't. I mean, one strike, okay, nobody's perfect. So you go to an MD, they give you a drug, it messes you up. Well, they're only human, that's just life. But what about when it's your kids? What about not only when it's your kids, but what about when it's your kids and they try to kill themselves? What about when it's your kids and they succeed in killing themselves? Not because they were depressed, but because they were given a medication by an MD, the side effect of which was suicidal ideation. What about that? What's it going to take for this worm to turn? What's it going to take for this nut to crack? What's it going to take for us to just say no? Look, no. Yeah, you're right. My kid's depressed. I'm depressed. We need help. But you're the wrong dog for the hunt. I have to be a fool to bring my family to you for help with depression because your treatments kill us. And not only do your treatments kill us, but they don't cure the disease. They do not cure the disease. They manage it. You want to have a real dose of reality? You want to have a real dose of reality? Go to your MD, tell them that you're depressed, and have them give you a prescription medication. Have them give you a prescription medication for depression and take it for 21 days. You tell me how it makes you feel. You'll be zombified. You'll be walking around the world in another dimension. You are not yourself. You are a medicated monster. Now look, we're not against drugs, right? Thank God for Novocaine. Thank God for penicillin, more or less. Thank God for morphine. Thank God for a handful of prescription medications when intellectually, when used appropriately. Save your life. Ease your pain. That's good medicine. But when a psychiatrist throws an antidepressant at somebody, the goal of the antidepressant is not to cure the disease. The goal of the antidepressant is to manage the symptoms of the disease. And the MDs don't believe that the body can fix itself. The MDs believe that it's their way or the highway, and you don't have any choice other than to take the drug. So, if it produces a side effect, well, that's just life. Why don't you give us more money for more research so we can figure out an antidepressant that doesn't create side effects? That's their mentality. This is, in fact, the blind leading the blind. And it's a big, bad voodoo daddy. It is a big, bad voodoo daddy. I can't imagine anything worse than a son or daughter of mine committing suicide. Well, the thing that would be worse is them committing suicide because of a side effect of a prescription medication. A prescription medication which was delivered unto them by a medical professional whom I trusted. Not only by a medical professional whom I trusted, but by a medical profession whom I had given hard-earned money to every month. You pay your mortgage every month, and that's a good thing because, you get positive benefits out of that. Eventually, you're going to own the house. You pay your car payments every month, and that's a good thing because eventually you're going to own the car, right? There's a tangible result from that that's a positive thing. But your health care dollars, your medical insurance premiums give you access to this type of medicine, which is the leading cause of death in the United States. And maybe that's okay when it's you or me, but when it's our kids, we don't do anything about it. It's unbelievable. And yet we do it because we don't know there's a different way. This is why longevity is so vitally important to everything. This is why it's so vitally important. Because there do in fact exist science-based, clinically verified alternatives to psychiatric nonsense. There do, which are effective. They're safe. They're effective. They're affordable. But most people don't even know how to, pronounce naturopathic, let alone have any idea what it is. I'll never forget the story. A colleague of mine was telling me, this was years ago, 20 years ago. I think I was a sophomore in naturopathic medical school, and one of the old-time naturopathic doctors came in to give a lecture, and he was telling us about, his experience with the licensure of naturopathic medicine. And they were at some state in the eastern part of the United States, the southeastern part of the United States below the Mason-Dixon line. I can't remember what state it was. Georgia, Kentucky, West Virginia, can't remember. South Carolina, can't remember. It was one of those states down there. And they were trying to get naturopathic medicine licensed and legalized and regulated so that the citizens of that state could have equal access to naturopathic medical therapeutics that would be covered by insurance, right? Good idea. But the governor was so out of it, which is a reflection of the population, that he looked at the bill and said, naturopaths, we don't need hiking trails, we need jobs. This is what we're up against. Stupidity. Stupidity, and abject, misguided trust. The only reason that the MDs are able to persist with this type of nonsense treatment is because they're taking advantage of your trust. You're being taken advantage of. Your trust is being taken advantage of. We're trusting people. The MDs are taking advantage of it to your doom and dismay. You want to know how to support and promote healthy hormone levels, healthy blood sugar levels, healthy moods in human beings without drugs? Stick around. I'm going to dial it in for you when we come back. Why? Because I can. Don't forget who you're talking to. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, your steadfast advocate for health, and this is Fire Your MD Now. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The last day of April 2014. Time flies like an arrow, and, well, fruit flies like a banana. Or, that's what Groucho Marx says. Time flies like an arrow, and fruit flies like a banana. So, you want to get on the other side of feeling blue. You want to get on the other side of just, not having any motivation. You want to get on the other side of being down in the dumps. Well, it would be prudent and wise for you, given a definitive diagnosis or a presumptive diagnosis of depression and or just plain feeling lousy and rotten, to support and promote your body's ability to have healthy moods. You want to find out how to have unhealthy moods? Eat a teaspoon of sugar every 30 minutes. Swallow a teaspoon of sugar every 30 minutes. Teaspoon of sugar every 30 minutes. Do that for 3 days in a row and gauge your mood. Every hour on the hour, set your little watch, your wristwatch to go off on the hour, or your cell phone to go off on the hour, and every hour gauge your mood. I feel awesome, I feel ecstatic, I feel normal, I feel less than normal, I'm depressed, I want to die. Gauge how you feel. Sugar has a remarkably negative impact on how you feel, or more appropriately, insulin. When there's too much insulin in your blood, you do not feel good. You feel like crap. You feel horrible. Your motivation's gone. Don't want to do anything. You feel like there's a big weight on your shoulders, a big burden on your life. Why is there too much insulin in your blood? Because your body can't metabolize sugar efficiently. Why can't your body metabolize sugar efficiently? Because your MD is an idiot. That's why. Your medical doctor has no appreciation, no respect, no experience with medical nutrition. And so when somebody's moods go awry, they just think that that's life, and they don't look to see what the cause of it is. They just deliver drugs that mess with the biochemistry in your brain to try to alter your mood, which is exactly the same as drinking tequila or vodka or a beer to make yourself feel better. Now, every once in a while, not a bad idea, to have a little cocktail to, ease the stress of your life. But when you do it, every day just to get by, that's a completely different situation. But that's what the MDs espouse. How different is taking a mood-altering drug than drinking alcohol? Alcohol's a mood alterer. So are prescription medications. You know, it's just a politically correct way to alter your mood. Oh, don't drink that alcohol, but here, take the Cymbalta. These drugs are delivered through an old-fashioned, outdated understanding of how the human body works and the relationship between the body and the mind and the emotions. The MDs are clueless about it. So, in order to get on the other side of this, in order to give your body a fighting chance to have a normal, healthy mood, to give your body a fighting chance to have a normal, healthy mood, because remember, we don't treat depression. We don't treat anxiety. We don't treat anything. We support and promote your body's ability to optimize its structure and function. And the basic fundamental stance here, our fundamental position is, when your body is healthy, your mood's going to be normal. When your body's healthy, you're not going to be depressed. When your body's healthy, you're not going to have anxiety and panic attacks. When your body's healthy, you're not going to have post-traumatic stress disorder. When your body's healthy, you're going to feel normal and motivated, and, you know, you're going to be able to walk through life with your head held high, or at least parallel to the ground. How do we do this? The best way to do this is to give your body one healthy blood sugar pack, 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals, and 1 bottle of selenium. 1 healthy blood sugar pack, 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals, and 1 bottle of ultimate selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month. Per 100 pounds of body weight per month. Eliminate the 10 bad foods. Cut way down on extracurricular sugar. Cut way down on extracurricular sugar for 4 weeks, just for 4 weeks. So, you know, knock off the orange juice, knock off the honey, knock off the agave. Cut way, way, way down on your use of extracurricular sugar. Eliminate the 10 bad foods. Take these nutritional supplements into your body for 4 weeks and look to see what happens to your mood. Look to see what happens to your energy. Look to see what happens to your motivation. Look to see what happens to how you feel. The proof of the pudding is 1,000,000 times better than $1 billion of federally funded pharmaceutical research. Let your body guide you. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Germany's on the line. We're going there when we come back. Stick around. If you limit your choices only to what seems possible or reasonable, you disconnect yourself from what you truly want, and all that is left is a compromise. Don't do that. Join Longevity. Try something different. Take a walk on the sane side. Take the red pill, pop out of the matrix, and welcome to the undiscovered country of science-based, clinically verified, holistic medical nutrition. Achtung, baby! Gottfried is back from the great country of Germany. Achtung, Gottfried, what's going on?
Hey, Doc, how are you?
I am fantastic. I'm a little road-weary, but back in the saddle now after a really great week last week in Anaheim, California with about 1,500 other people, all members of Longevity Nation. It was a really great convention, but now we're back in the saddle, brother. Thanks for the phone call. What's going on?
We really miss you in Europe.
Yeah, well, how's it going in Europe? What's it like getting longevity stuff into Germany? How's that going?
It's going very well, pretty well. I mean, Germany is added to the mailing list.
Great.
And we are very grateful for that.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, so there's a little bit of snafus to work out in the Longevity back office, but we took care of it. Well, it's a good thing, Gottfried, and every time I give a webinar now, it seems like I've got people from the European Union, so it's possible that a year from now, we could do a European tour when it comes to that. So that would be a lot of fun. I'm going to need an interpreter, though. Do you speak German?
Yes. I've got a very good downline who is a doctor. He speaks very good German as well.
Yeah, okay, great, man. Well, as a team, we can move mountains here, brother. Thanks for the phone call. What's on your mind, Gottfried?
I'm calling on behalf of this Dr. Lincoln from Luxembourg, and he have a lot of good things. I mean, he's recovered his eyes, being on the protocol for 3 months. The daughter, recovered her heart, being on the product, and now he's worried that his blood sugar is coming down. He's now on insulin for an hour, and then his morning blood sugar is 200, which is very worrying. So we want to know why. He's on the other part of the cell phone.
Okay, so let me get this straight. The heart condition got better and an eye condition got better, but the blood sugars have not gotten better at all. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay, so how long has he been doing the program?
3 months today, and he's been obeying all the instructions. He's totally off carbohydrate and everything, gluten-free for 3 months.
Okay, and has the blood sugar spike just a random thing, or is the blood sugar spiking a regular thing now?
A regular thing now.
Okay, for how many days or weeks or how long has the blood sugars been going up?
Since the beginning of the protocol.
Really?
And before the protocol as well.
Oh, all right. So before the protocol, his blood sugars in the morning were elevated, and that hasn't changed since he started the protocol.
That's right.
Okay. So this has to be an absorption issue, right? This has to be an absorption issue. So this means that he, at this point in his therapeutic, now that he's gotten traction, now that he's experienced some positive change, right, in the heart, that's a good thing, in the vision, that's an even better thing. The game is afoot, and his body is responding to the stuff, and his body's, getting more and more nutrified. He can up the ante. He can potentially increase the absorption of the nutrients and make his body more efficient in this regard by doing a cleanse. So I would recommend he do a 5-day cleanse, with the 3 days in the middle. The second day, the third day, and the fourth day, he finds somebody in Luxembourg who can do colonic hydrotherapy, and he gets a colonic 3 days in a row in the middle of a 5-day cleanse. And when he's doing the 5-day cleanse, all I want him to eat is I want him to eat vegetables, and that's it. And soups. I want him to eat vegetables and soups for 5 days. I want him to do the herbal rainforest, 1 ounce of the herbal rainforest 3 times a day. 1 ounce of the herbal rainforest 3 times a day, vegetables and soups, and for 3 of the 5 days, hopefully in the middle, find a colonic hydrotherapist in Luxembourg who he can go to for treatments. And I'm going to bet that after he does this program for 5 days, his blood sugars are going to start to come around, because there's only 2 things that makes medical nutrition ineffective. You're not taking enough, or you're not absorbing enough. And, there's one thing that we can do to increase absorption, and that's clean the body out. And I don't like to clean the body out in the beginning of the program. But in the middle of the program, I'm all good with that. And he should also, as an experiment, double or start, if he's not adding it already as an add-on to his program, get the plant-derived minerals. Get a bottle or 2 of the plant-derived minerals, and take 1 ounce of the plant-derived minerals twice a day. 1 ounce of the plant-derived minerals twice a day. It's just a waiting game, and when some things start to improve in the body, it's only a matter of time until everything starts to improve in the body. For goodness sake, it might take his body 9 months to get on the other side of the blood sugar issue. It might take his body 1 more week to get on the other side of the blood sugar issue. Nobody really knows, and we don't have that crystal ball. But when you do a colon cleanse, you go a long way towards speeding up your body's ability to absorb the nutrients, and it's kind of like fast-tracking the healing here. So, if there aren't any colonic hydrotherapists in Luxembourg, then my recommendation to him, get the plant minerals, use the plant minerals, and maybe as an experiment for 4 weeks, double the amount of sweeties that he's taking, and look to see if that makes a positive change. Other than that, he just has to be a little more patient, give the program a little bit more time, and, expect results with time. That makes sense, right?
What about Macky Plus?
What are the Macky Plus? I wouldn't do it. Macky Plus, does he have a history of irritable bowel or inflammatory bowel disease or anything like that?
No.
Then the first thing that I would think about here would be a cleanse, right? I would think about a cleanse, and I would think about increasing the minerals, because everybody's minerally deficient.
And in case there's no colonic doctor in Luxembourg, is that the herbal rainforest is okay? Well,
what he can do then, if he can't find a colonic hydrotherapy, is to get the herbal rainforest, but take it a little less aggressively. So have him do 1 ounce of the herbal rainforest every night before bed. 1 ounce of the herbal rainforest every night before bed. And, that means first thing in the morning he's going to have to get up and run to the bathroom, because it's a laxative. And the intention of that product is to, increase his body's ability to get rid of stuff that's in the colon. So that's what I would do. But really, if you can't find a colon hydrotherapist, I would have him increase plant minerals.
Okay.
Double down on the sweeties, and just understand, healing's a process, and it's going to take time. Now, the fact that the eyes and the heart have gotten better, that's a big deal. And really, that just means that the game is afoot here, and he has to be a little more patient. Now, the naturopathic philosophy regarding healing of multiple illnesses is that the stuff that you've been bothered by the longest is the last thing to get better, right? The stuff that you've been bothered by the longest is the last thing to yield. So I'm going to guess then that he's been bothered by a blood sugar issue longer than he's been bothered by a heart issue, and longer than he's been bothered by the eye issue. That would make sense to me in kind of the hierarchy of healing that happens in the body. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so can he go cold turkey on the insulin injection?
No, I would not do that. I would not go cold turkey on insulin at all. I would do step-down insulin injections, but I wouldn't do step-down insulin injections until the blood sugar numbers start to yield. When the blood sugar numbers start to give and they start to change, well, then he consider stepping down the insulin. But in the meantime, I wouldn't do it. How often does he get the injections?
Once a day, I think.
Yeah. So, typically what diabetics are trained to do is they take their blood sugar, they estimate how much sugar, is in the food that they're going to eat, and then they adjust their insulin dosage appropriately. So he just needs to continue to do that, and as his blood sugar numbers come down, which, might take a month or 2 or 3 or 4, then he can adjust the insulin. But in the meantime, I wouldn't mess around with that at all. I just got to be patient here, man. He just has to be patient, give the body more time, and you can accelerate that once again with a little bit of a colon cleanse, adding the plant-derived minerals and or doubling down on the sweeties. But remember, you can't build a house overnight. You can't heal the body overnight, but you can heal the body. It's only a matter of time until things come around for him to the ability that they're going to. And the way that this blood sugar is going to go for him, I tell you this right now, all of a sudden, he's going to wake up one day and the blood sugar numbers are going to start to move. It's not going to be a slow and steady blood sugar improvement. It's going to be nothing, and then all of a sudden, like somebody flipped a switch, the blood sugar numbers are going to start to drop. Now, it might take 2 months for that to happen. It might take 2 weeks for that to happen. I don't know. It always happens. It's just a matter of time. And colon cleansing really goes a long way towards speeding that whole process up.
Okay, Doc.
Hey, Gottfried, who's the greatest? You're the greatest, man.
You know you are the greatest.
Oh, come on, man. You're the greatest. You're the greatest thing to happen to Germany ever.
I want to hear some reassurances from the convention.
Oh, you wouldn't believe the testimonials that I heard at the convention. And every time somebody walked up to me at the convention, and it seemed like every time I turned around, you know, I've given lots of lectures. I've given hundreds of lectures over the last 2 years for Longevity Nation all over the world. You know, I talked to hundreds of people a month. People were coming up to me at the convention. Oh, Dr. Glidden, you probably don't remember me, but a year ago you spoke to me in Charlotte, North Carolina, and my congestive heart failure is better. My blood pressure is better. My type 2 diabetes is gone. My eczema is gone. My daughter got pregnant. You know, on and on and on and on. You stick with us, brother. You're going to see testimonials that will bring you to tears. Again, the proof of the pudding is in the eating, and this is our solid foundation. Results, results, results. Stay tuned. The best is yet to come. Ladies and gentlemen, don't even think about touching that dial. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Finishing out the month of April here, 2014. With just a stack full of phone calls, so let's get right to it. Sue from Tennessee is up next. I think she's a first-time caller. Hey, Sue, thanks for the call. You are live. Come in, Sue. Hello, Sue. All right, we're going to put Sue on hold. Maybe we'll get to her in a minute or two. Next up is Virginia. We're going to take to Theodore. Hey, Theodore, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Yes?
Yes, Theodore. Come on in, brother.
Yeah, how are you?
Well, I'm good, but I'll get better. What's happening with you?
I've got a pinched nerve in my back, and that nerve runs all the way down from my right hip all the way down to my foot. And it hurts some kind of bad when I'm walking a lot of times.
All right, here's what I want you to do. You ever heard of something called Epsom salts?
Yes?
All right, I want you to go to the pharmacy. Do you have a bathtub?
Yes?
All right, go to the pharmacy, get a big bag of Epsom salts.
Uh-huh.
I want you to put 1 pound of Epsom salts in a full tub of hot water.
Okay.
I want you to get in and soak in the Epsom salts for about 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
I want you to do that immediately before bed.
Okay.
The Epsom salt has magnesium in it, and, well, that's what it is. It's magnesium sulfate. The magnesium will leach into your body and relax your muscles. There's a bunch of muscles in your butt, in your hip, that are really, really tight, ostensibly. And that's squeezing on a big nerve that goes down into your leg. It's called sciatica. The most common cause of what you're complaining about is chronic muscle spasticity in the butt. And your muscles are spastic most probably because you're deficient in calcium and magnesium, right? So this is a down and dirty way to relax muscles. It's cheap, it's inexpensive, and it's rapid. But it's only a stopgap, Theodore, because if I'm right, and the Epsom salts bath eases the pain, then what that means is your body is nutritionally deficient in calcium and magnesium and a number of other things. So you would be wise to feed your body the proper medical nutrition in order to make your muscles and bones and joints and ligaments and tendons and organs healthy, right? That's only a smart thing to do. How much do you weigh, Theodore?
190.
All right. So in a perfect world, you would take 2 Healthy Start Pack original formulas a month. 2 Healthy Start Pack original formulas a month. Now, how'd you find out about this radio show, Theo?
A friend of mine, named Mr. Tucker.
All right, so you want to get with Mr. Tucker. You want to tell him that you need 2 Healthy Start Pack original formulas, and he'll tell you how to get them at the wholesale price. He'll also tell you how to take them, and life is good.
Okay.
Sound like a plan, Stan?
And how often do I take those? The direction to be on the bottle?
Well, yeah, Mr. Tucker will tell you how. Our recommendation is that everybody who's alive takes these nutritional supplements every day for the rest of your life. Every day for the rest of your life. And you take them twice a day. You know, you got to take a shower every day. You got to eat food every day. You got to drink water every day. Well, you need your nutritional supplements every day also. Mr. Tucker will tell you how to get them at the wholesale price. He'll also tell you how to take them. And you want to look out, man, because the one biggest side effect of all these nutritional supplements is you feel better, your sex drive gets better, your energy gets better, your sleep gets better, your memory gets better, life gets better. You are going to love how you feel, Theodore. Get with Mr. Tucker and get your hands on 2 Healthy Start Pack original formulas a month, and give me a call back about the 3rd week and tell me how you're doing. I'd look forward very much to that. Ladies and gentlemen, hour 2 coming up today, April 30th, 2014. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, your steadfast advocate for health, and you know where you are. You're listening to Fire Your MD Now. Hour 2 next. Stick around.